Alright guys, Fulham have just beaten Leeds to reach the quarter-final or sixth round of the FA Cup, and yeah, it was a game where Fulham, they were very efficient with their shots, taking two and scoring two for the first part of the game. That was like after about 70 minutes, I think. I don't know if they had a shot in the final 20, but they didn't have many shots, and they scored with the first two they did take. And yeah, it was a game where Leeds should have won this with the amount of chances they created and the amount of good positions they got into. But typical Leeds, constantly getting forward and creating chances, but failing to score goals. And that's what you've come to expect from them in the past couple of years, to be honest. And yeah, the first goal is it's quite poor from Adams and Mark Rocker in midfield. I think Adams he's under a bit of pressure to release the ball, but it's a number one rule, especially in English football with the intensity of it. You do not play a sideways pass without looking in a situation like that, especially when you're up against someone like João Paulinho, who is, literally one of the best midfielders in the league, if not the world right now, at being able to win the ball back and win possession for his team. He does so, and he touches it ahead of Mark Rocker, and then with his next touch whips it into the far corner from about 30 to 35 yards. It was a superb finish. Don't get me wrong, Melia's positioning definitely helped him, but I don't think you can point the finger at Melia there. He has no reason to expect that in 5 seconds' time a shot's going to come off from a Fulham player. So for me, I think you've got to look at the two midfielders there. And yeah, it was a superb finish from Paulinho, and he is looking like one of the best signings of the season, I think. Don't get me wrong, I think that there might be a few who come ahead of him. I think Casemiro's the main one for me this year. Obviously Haaland, a lot of people will say, but I think Casemiro. But alongside Casemiro, if we're making a new signing 11 for this year, I think I'd probably have Paulinho. I think he has been superb and a big reason why Fulham have done so well this season. And yeah, they made it 2 after half time. Manor Solomon 4 in 4 now for him, and this goal was virtually a carbon copy of the goal he scored the other night against Wolves. It was a brilliant finish, nice 1-2 with Mitrovic, and whips it into the far corner from the left hand side of the box. So yeah, he's in really good form, and I would go as far to say right now that it looks like Chelsea might have just spent 90 million on the second best left winger that Shakhtar Donetsk had in their squad last season. I'm not saying that Solomon is better than Mudryk, but based on what we've seen from the two of them so far in English football, I think there is reason to believe that Solomon has done better, basically, so far. Mudryk has had moments where he's looked good, but in the majority of games so far that he's played, he's just not done enough and gone missing at times, to be honest. I know it's hard to perform in a bit of a poor Chelsea team right now, but he's not been great, has he? But yeah, Leeds, the amount of chances they created this game was ridiculous, and at times, like looking at how they missed them was just bizarre, to be honest. Jorginho Ruta was, for me, their best forward player today. He was constantly getting in good positions, and to be fair to him, he was really unlucky not to score with the header that hit the post. There was also another one where he got the rebound to a shot, to a header from a corner. And yeah, we'll talk about that one actually. There was debate at half time about should Leeds the first time they got the ball in the back of the net, should it have stood? And for me, no. I think they got the decision right. I think Harry Wilson has been pushed. I know Harry Wilson makes a big meal of it, but he has been pushed out of position where he probably would have headed the ball away if he hadn't have been pushed. So for me, it is the correct decision. I think it was Weston McKennie who did push him, and then he headed the ball towards goal. But yeah, Ruta constantly wanted to get involved and was getting shots off at times in the game where Leeds started to struggle a little bit, and it would have been interesting to see what would have happened had Javi Gracia subbed on Jack Harrison along with Jorginho Ruta still being on the pitch, because I think that combination could have worked well. Because Bamford, whenever I've seen him play recently, he just hasn't done it for me. But Ruta played really well this game, and I think he's definitely done enough to start in the next game for Leeds, for me, I think. And yeah, but Leeds just missed so many chances. There was one point in the second half where Harrison puts a cross in, he's going to Bamford, and Rodak, who had a good game in goal for Fulham, punches the ball away, and there's about 3 different opportunities for Leeds to score, and they just can't, and eventually the ball takes deflection off a Leeds player and goes out for a goal kick. It was absolutely insane how Leeds couldn't score, and you know, this is becoming a real problem for Leeds. They won at the weekend against Southampton, but I mean, the game at the weekend for Leeds was an absolutely must-win fixture. 19th versus 20th at the start of the day in terms of the league table, and Leeds are at home, so you're facing the team who are at bottom of the Premier League at home. That's a must-win game for any team, really, and never mind the team who are in a relegation scrap with that team. So yeah, Leeds did well at the weekend to win, but they've got to start putting these chances that they're getting away and go back to winning football matches like they were in the first month of the season. And for some reason they just can't seem to do it. And I don't know how they are so bad at finishing. You'd think with... if you can go on and run of games where, you know, you get loads of chances and your finishing's just poor and it can be low confidence, but there've been so many times throughout the past 18 months with Leeds where there's games where they should have obliterated the opposition but end up scoring none or 1 goal. And it feels like the only player who can put the ball in the back of the net for Leeds consistently is Rodrigo, and you know, he's injured at the minute, and I think he's out for a few more weeks yet. So it's tough to see how Leeds are going to get these wins to be able to stay up, because Everton had a good start under Sean Dyche, although it's gone a bit sideways recently. So it will be interesting to see who does stay up. But yeah, back to Fulham. They did defend well. They and just got the job done in the end. They were the team who looked more threatening when they did go forward, but they just couldn't get many shots on goal today. I think it was just more they were focused on keeping their lead once they had got it. And yeah, they're through to the quarterfinals. And from what I've seen from the draw for the FA Cup, in theory, there should be some winnable ties that Fulham could get in the quarterfinals. Burnley play Fleetwood, I think it is, tomorrow night. So, you know, that's lower league opposition they'll be playing if they draw one of them two. Blackburn have just beaten Leicester. Brighton won as well tonight. So, you know, it's not like it's all the big boys in the next round. I think there is only... I think there's only 3 of the big 6 and Newcastle in the next round. I think it is just Tottenham, Man United and Man City if Man United win tomorrow night. But yeah, anyway, it was a good performance from Fulham, and yeah, they did really well to get through to the next round. And I do want to say something about their defence actually, because I think Tim Ream in particular, I thought was the weakness in this Fulham team at the start of the season, but over the past few months he has completely proven me wrong. He's been brilliant for them. He's been the leader of the defence, and I always thought that he was a bit rash going into tackles, but he's definitely improved that. I think that might come from my judgment of him in previous seasons when Fulham got promoted and then went straight back down again. I thought he had some poor performances in those seasons, but he's definitely improved his game as he has got older, and fair play to him. But yeah, Fulham and they've got options going forward now as well. They've got Mitrovic and Vinicius to play in the role of the striker, Minor Solomon, Bobby D. Cordova-Reid, and Willian as wingers, and I think they've still got Neeskens Cabano to come back from injury as well, so that's another option they could potentially have. So it is looking really good right now for Fulham, and it will be interesting to see if they can push for a European spot, because I think in the league table right now, yeah, they're actually 6th in the league table right now, so I think that they take a Conference League spot, but even if they could push for a Europa League spot, that'd be incredible. And I mean, I remember the first year I ever got into football watching Fulham's run to the Europa League final back in 2009-10 it was, I think it was, yeah. And, they put in some great performances that year. One that I remember was against Juventus, but they just couldn't quite win the final against Atletico. But, it'd be interesting to see them back in the Europa League for sure next season. But yeah, anyway, Fulham, they did enough to get this over the line. Leeds, on the other hand, they will feel as though they had more than enough chances to win this game. The fact that they lost it by 2 clear goals, it reflects badly on their forward players. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.